Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from the beginning. You know, we always talk about how Asians are like weaker and less masculine and things like that. But there's another side to Asians I don't think a lot of people see. This is the side that I think makes Asians the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous men in society, in my opinion. They are the most angry. They are the most silent about their anger. And they are the ones that are like fighting within their masculinity, probably one of the most out of society. So please like, subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
The Asians in the penitentiary are definitely not to be mistaken. These dudes are always doing a grip of time for murders and shootings. They are seriously like the most calm in the pen. They have a lot of structure. You can tell they're family oriented by the way they treat their people.
Isn't that crazy that even in the penitentiaries that other people can tell how family oriented Asians are and how structured we are? Like, even when it comes to, you know, gangs and things like that, the respect factor is probably the utmost importance.
With respect and everybody else, but these are the dudes doing 25 fucking plus years. They're all doing a gang of time. I never really met any Asians that were doing some small ass bit.
I would be the Asian that did the small ass bit when I went in, but I got treated the way most Asians gets treated in jail and stuff like that. I wasn't messed with, but I also didn't mess with people either. So
Homie Fong, he was doing like 35 years, and he was just the downest, coolest fool who just had your back. Oh, you need soups? Oh, you need this? What's up? What's up? I'm like, nah, I can't take nothing, but it's good, you know.
I know that feeling when I'm just telling little stories. I'm not gonna tell you guys or about the whole story until 10K subs or something like that. But yeah, when I was in there, you know who were the best people to me? The Mexicans. The Mexicans were like the nicest to me and helped take care of a lot of things. And to tell the truth, I was able to speak good enough Spanish to communicate back and forth with them. It was not good enough, just like some words. And there isn't that many Asians where I was. I was in Tennessee at the time, and I was probably the only Asian. Me and my partner were probably the only Asians there, and everybody was just looked at us like wide-eyed, like, "Oh, what the fuck did they do?" You know.
Non-Asian has heard that, you know, one Asian fuck up a whole gang.
You guys hear that? Every non-Asian has heard that one Asian literally can fuck up a whole gang.
You would hear that about. You won't hear one black guy with a whole gang. No.
Oops. I messed up.
There's no other race you would hear that about. You won't hear one black guy with a whole gang. No. One white guy. Every now and then you run into an Asian that upholds that repetition. The one I ran into was Grasshopper. They could fight. You want to see a badass behave himself? Put him in a unit that got Grasshopper in there. They don't talk much. They don't say one unnecessary word. And one night the bell went off, man. And when you look over there.
And this guy's name is Diamond. He's a pretty big gang leader back in the day too.
They were kicking people in the ear like it was dummies. People was turning on people. If you try to run through the door, and somebody don't want to wait on you, they pull you back. It was a mess. Not even the riot squad when they responded. When you hear those boots, because they march, they come like a military battalion when they're coming. So you hear the rumble in the floor. And we all knew that before the riot squad get there, assume the position. Do not let them ask you.
100% agree. I mean, just anybody ever does end up going, don't let the guards repeat themselves.
Or put you in the position, it won't be nice. But they ran up in there and Them Chinese boys, them guys could fight, man. Not the type that you see on movies, man. They could fight. Real life fighters. Dislocating and breaking bones. And they went from nothing or nobodies to don't fuck with them. I don't even think that fight lasted 2 minutes. The fight was relatively quick. So you're getting to see the looks on everybody's face. They're coming to you to get out. Man, it was hilarious. You couldn't see Grasshopper or what he was doing or what fighting techniques or what he was using, but you had bodies flying up and landed, bam! Here they hit the table, bang! Anybody that was on Rikers Island in the early 80s knows it then. Because they kept going from building to building, because them boys tried to escape every minute, every chance they got. They tried. And they was using some unusual methods. In patience, you gotta have to cut those windows. Because they're individual bars. And then you have to do it over a long period of time.
The dedication these Chinese men had, these Asian men, escaped multiple times. Still got put back in.
And every night, the police check to make sure that, the bars are not disturbed. How they kept it a secret. They didn't do that in one night. You can't do that in one night. Remember that night when the alarm went off? You knew somebody escaped. They got the respect of the inmates and the correctional officers in the same 2 minutes. Captain Williams is the type of person, when it's his tour, you don't want to do nothing. If you have a beef, you settle him and he's gone. You push them guys' button. He ain't said nothing to them that he didn't really have to say.
Grasshopper is my street brother. He got locked up and he's in Rikers Island. Why he's so famous? Because he is a very, very good at Kung Fu master. Study everything he knows. In the street, they call him Bruce Lee. But after he got arrested, when he's inside, the inmates call him Grasshopper. He's a nice people. He's a nice person. And after.
I love how we describe each other. He was a good person. He was a nice person. He murdered some people, but he was a nice person.
He finished his time. When he come out, I saw him like 2-3 times, something like that. And I talked with him, and he's a very nice person. And
he was in for homicide?
Yeah. He was inside for homicide. He have his story, okay, but
okay.
But I don't know. I don't want to talking about people's story.
That was some crazy chow. The respect factor is huge amongst our people, or just Asians and just these types of people. Like the man at the end wasn't willing to tell Grasshopper's story because it's not his story to tell. That is a huge respect factor that I don't think people understand. And just Asians in general, I think, are the most dangerous men, because there's men out there that are similar to these guys but have no control over their masculinity and no control over their emotions. Imagine if these guys can destroy people like this. Imagine a weak one with a gun. It is what it is. This is why you don't be the loudest one in the room. You'll get noticed, I'm sure, but it's the different attention. Being the quietest one in the room is a different presence. I suggest to men to be more the one that's quiet in the room, because then people have questions about you. People are questioning you. When I was in jail, I just didn't talk much. Most people just questioned everything about me. What I did, what I was in for, how long I was in for, and they were scared. I wouldn't say scared, but they stayed away, right? They did not really mess with me. They were actually genuinely really nice to me. And I was courteous myself. To me, respect is huge. So, just respect everybody out there, man, especially men in their own country. This is why I brought this up, because most of us will be traveling to Asian countries. Imagine some of these types of men in their own country, the things they're willing to do and the things that they can get away with in their own country. So you really have to be careful with the people you mess with in those countries. This is just a big warning, just to like be careful out there and, you know, be masculine, be quiet, just be stoic. Those are the more favorable traits in life for men. You know, so please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. It's Chow Time.